Greetings fellow film fans, thanks for tuning in. My name is Mercy and this is the Funny Pajamas YouTube channel. So the latest episode of the What If series from Marvel has been dropped and I thought I'd give my quick spoiler review. Now if you haven't seen that big bright spoiler warning up on the screen right now, this is going to have spoilers, so if you haven't watched this episode yet, please go ahead, watch the episode and come back, we can have a fun discussion. While you're here, why don't you smash that like button, hit that beautiful red subscribe button, become a subscriber to my channel if you haven't done so already. Bell icon so that you're notified every time I post something new. So let's get on with it. Now we start off in this with, Yondu not having gone himself to pick up Peter Quill. Instead, he gives the job to his underlings and sends them, and they mess it up and bring back T'Challa instead of Peter Quill. T'Challa has got a pretty much of a wandering heart, so he's happy to be there and he wants to explore space and, the universe and all the galaxies and such. And that is how we end up with T'Challa as Star-Lord. Now, T'Challa as Star-Lord is vastly different from Peter Quill as Star-Lord. He's pretty much an established galactic hero. He's brought the Ravagers band close. They go around helping planets and people and, protecting them. They're particularly this universe version of Guardians of the Galaxy. And T'Challa is basically a key figure in that. He uses all his the royal weight he had on him, his charm, his charisma, his ability to lead, and he talks them into following a straighter path instead of following the crooked path that they were on previously. There are some pretty surprising additions and lacks thereof to the Ravengers. First, the biggest surprise addition I got was Thanos, who's now a reformed Thanos. Comes and tells how T'Challa, talked him out of, his mad idea to commit mass-scale genocide, and he's changed so much that he joined the Ravagers. And this version of Thanos is so much different. He's a pretty laid-back guy. He's capable he has a pretty good sense of humor. He loves his Ravager family. So there are vast differences, but what I appreciated the most was the core character of T'Challa as the same, responsible person that he is in the Black movie. His main personality has not changed. There are a few changes. He's more flirty, he's more easygoing, he's got more of a swagger and, he's more laid back. But the main character, the personality traits, everything that make T'Challa Black Panther are still there in T'Challa as Star-Lord. And I was so happy to see T'Challa returning. The great Chadwick Boseman. These scenes were recorded before his passing. And even though I have to hand it to him, despite what he was probably going through, he seems to have given his all in this. He knocks the ball straight out of the park with T'Challa's version of Star-Lord. And in this world, Star-Lord is well known, he's respected, he's a galactic hero. So even enemies, respect him and know him, have heard of him and fear him. That Chadwick Boseman had come back to reprise the role was definitely hit me in the feels a bit, not having such a great talent with us anymore. And that added further weight to this episode, but on a whole, the episode itself was much more solid compared to the first episode. I felt the first episode where Peggy Carter becomes Captain Carter, I felt that episode sort of stumbled a bit. I thought this episode really picked it up. Now we begin with a quest where T'Challa has got to infiltrate the collector's domain so that he can get this MacGuffin sort of thing. And he needs to get it for Nebula, and he teams up with Nebula. Nebula and Thanos are, they are on better terms than they were before. They do crack a whole lot of jokes or such, and the thing is, if you are an ardent MCU fan, you're going to definitely get most or all of the jokes. Though for those of who are new to the MCU, it's the references, like I said in the previous episode, the references, some of them are just going to go over your head. But back to the point. So T'Challa needs to make a trade-off with the Collector. Now in the power vacuum created by Thanos, the Collector stepped in and now he is the big bad. He's got the Black Order working for him and stuff. And now T'Challa needs to infiltrate the Collector's collection and get this particular item, this MacGuffin item that he needs to get. So they lay out a plan. As obvious, the plan does not go as expected, and we have a fight off between T'Challa, Yondu, and the Collector. Now, I gotta say, the Collector was a totally differently portrayed. He's still a basic guy, but he's much more buff in this, and he's a total badass. And in his collection, there are so many Easter eggs. We get a scene with Howard the Duck. We get with the little dog, I believe that's Space Dog. And then you get a whole lot of Easter eggs. Like among his collections, he's got Captain America's shield, he's got Mjolnir, he's got stuff from the Dark Elves, and he even has Hela, the goddess of death's headdress. But I felt this animation style suited better for this intergalactic space adventure feel, particularly with the vivid vibrant colors and the neons, and the color scheme that they had gone for, and the design and the set design and stuff. I thought this style of animation suited this particular episode a lot more than it did the previous episode. The previous episode was pretty tonally flat. Another thing I had expected was that, like the previous episode, they would follow the basic steps of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. But surprise, surprise, this episode throws you straight off the track, straight off the bat. Just the part where the abduction of T'Challa instead of Peter Quill is where the difference comes, and beyond that, practically nothing is the same as it is in Guardians of the Galaxy, which I did appreciate. I did believe that the series started off, unsteady, and they sort of stumbled out of the gate a bit with Captain Carter, but I do believe they found their footing with this episode. Now, so far, each episode has been a separate self-contained episode in itself, but I do believe it's going to converge. Chadwick Boseman voices his character in a few other episodes as well, so he is going to appear, and I do believe they will converge. Now, the Watcher does say that he does not interfere, he will not interfere, but I've got a certain gut feeling that he is eventually going to have to interfere. I'm interested in seeing how these various timelines will collide or meet or stuff, and I'm interested in seeing how further they go ahead. This just opens up the plate all the more for Marvel to explore so many possibilities, so many things, and I'm all the more hyped for it. So listen, what did you think of this episode? Did you think this was stronger than the previous episode like I did? I had a blast with this episode. I hope all the episodes follow this path. It was perfectly timed. The pacing was good. It was self-contained. And it left enough questions and threads and nuggets for me to, as in the words of the Watcher, ponder the question, what if? So I definitely had a blast with this episode. Originally I was kind of thinking maybe I would drop off after episode 1, maybe do a final series thing, but this episode really got me back on the track, and I'm going to be continuing my reviews. So if you want to hit me up, you can always contact me on Twitter at Mercy_D. Hit me up on Instagram at Mercy_SD. Don't forget, you can check out the Funny Pajamas Facebook page simply at Funny Pajamas. Links in the description down below. If you want to check out my website, it's www.funny-pajamas.com. I put up articles and blog reviews and stuff there, so do check it out. It would be really helpful. Also, if you want to contact me by email, hit me up simply on mercy@funny-pajamas.com. And everywhere, need I tell you guys, pajamas with a Y. That's all I have for you right now, guys. Hope to see you again next week with more What If goodness. I do hope they keep the pace. I hope that they keep the momentum. Here's hoping. That's all for me. This is Mercy, signing out. Bye. Have a good one, everyone.